Hello, this isn't usually how you see me. I was going to film this outside, but then I saw an opportunity with the kitty. Hello, how are you? When I was around 18, 19, 20 years old, I did a lot of vlogging and I loved it. I did all sorts of different things. It was on an old channel, you haven't seen it, and God forbid you do, because I would be so unbelievably doxxed. Like, my point is that it's been a while since I've done this. I've had a really weird year. In the last 12 months, I have made videos that have done unbelievably well. I've gone from having a few thousand subscribers to over 170,000. I quit my job to focus on the opportunity that was presenting itself in front of me. I just quit my job. I think it's gonna be alright. Let's hope this was the correct move to make. I received my play button. I've been invited to multiple YouTube events. I've met some incredible people who I hope will be in my life for a very long time. What you don't see though is everything that happens behind the scenes. I've had some really tricky mental health things going on in the last year or so. My anxiety and my panic attacks have been the worst they've been in a very long time. And another thing that's happened recently is I'm single now, which, mind you, is completely amicable, and I am setting a firm boundary here about please don't ask me about it, please don't ask him about it, please don't discuss it anywhere. We're still friends, please respect our privacy. Thank you very much. But the combination of everything that's happened in the last year means that I'm a little bit slow on the main channel content right now. It's often hard to think straight. My tummy hurts and I'm being very brave about it. And for the record, I have an incredible support system and people who love me very much, and I am completely safe. This is more me letting you know if I seem off, or if I seem to be uploading more slowly, if I'm not around too much on the Discord. This is why. Life is being weird. I also think it's really interesting to evaluate how life can have simultaneous big highs and big lows. I've had the biggest career successes of my life. I have met the dreams I have had since I was a child. But at the same time, emotionally, I am confused. My brain is incredibly loud. I'm 24. I still live at home. Things that are easy for other people can be really hard for me. I have friends my age who are engaged and have children, and yet here I am. But at the same time as that, I'm 24, I still live at home, as many people my age do, because the economy is in shambles. The economy is in shambles! And despite what you might think, content creation isn't necessarily a lucrative career, especially in the early stages. And I need to give myself grace, especially because I am a disabled person. These labels, they're not just for quirky, haha, funny, silly. They are disabilities that affect me every single day. And regardless of that, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people anyway, because you never know what situations they're going through and what you're going through. I had a really hard time with my anxiety in around June. I had to come home early from a trip to Spain because I was so sickeningly anxious, and it really messed me up a bit. Despite that, I was still planning on going to Tenerife with my family at the end of July, and I was terrified. I prepared the best I could. I got medical help. I planned for what I would do in a worst case situation, and I went anyway. I resisted the urge to run, and I'm so glad I did, because I had a really nice time and it turned out fine. I got back on the horse and I didn't fall off it. I hate white people. I paced myself to make sure I wasn't overwhelmed. For example, I skipped out on going to a meal at a restaurant because that felt like it was a step too far for me. I sort of struggle with feeling sort of trapped at the table, sort of feels claustrophobic. So while they went out to eat, I got dinner by myself in the hotel, and then I went to the beach and on my own went and had a look at the rock pools and had a lovely time trying to identify all of the funny little creatures that resided in them. And it made me realize that despite these incredibly big lows I have had, I wouldn't have been able to do this a few years ago. I wouldn't have been able to go and get dinner by myself, and I wouldn't have been able to go and hang out on the beach by myself. Amongst the low, there was still progress, and I think that's really important to remember. I'm trying to rebirth and find myself. I'm very proud of myself. I need to give myself more room to remember that. My frontal lobe is supposedly nearly done cooking. Might need to leave it in the crock pot a bit longer. You know those videos of people slow cooking meat and then they tear it up with a fork or with a whisk? New lobotomy just dropped. Thanks for listening. I might try and do some more vloggy stuff. I don't know. It's been a while. I used to do it so often and I loved it. I don't know. We'll see.